Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Garcia. I'm here with Emilia Norland and Stefan Walter. We're presenting Intellectual Property Protection, AI Power Rehabilitation Planner.
Hi, my name is Stefan Walter. I will be talking about the legal and security features of this AI program.
And I'm Amelia Norland, and I'll be introducing our product and intellectual property protection. Together, we've designed a strategy to safeguard innovation in the healthcare tech space. Let's take a look at the product we're protecting. We've built an AI-powered rehabilitation planner. It's a digital tool that creates personalized rehab treatment plans based on real patient data and proven clinical guidelines. This platform helps solve a big issue in physical therapy: inconsistent outcomes and insufficient prescriptions that don't always fit the patient. What gives this tool value is its proprietary AI, the algorithms, user interface, the way it interprets patient data, and even the template designs for care plans are all unique to us. So our main goal as a team has been to protect those elements: the design, the function, the branding, to make sure our work remains ours. Let's talk about the scope, what this project includes and what it doesn't include. We're focused on digital rehab solutions only. That means we're not diagnosing patients or creating physical devices. We're staying within the software realm, which actually gives us stronger control over what can be protected under IP law. The project includes an AI model for rehab planning, our code, branding, partner communication, and all the legal and IP protections. What's not included is clinical oversight, expanding the AI outside the physical therapy world or the manufacturing of any hardware. Keeping those boundaries clear has helped us stay focused and organized. Eric, why don't you talk to us a little bit about our process?
Sounds good. Okay, so we have process mapping, ideation to compliance. So the objective is for rehab planning to be effective based on AI and be compliant with legal and ethical standards like HIPAA. The goal is to define the core concept. We have ideation. It would be for brainstorming with multidisciplinary teams such as clinical, cybersecurity, and AI experts. We go into identifying the pain points, which would be poor continuity in rehab care and high data breach risk. Then we go into feasibility study. The goal is to validate the concept. So can AI model process rehab data securely? Who are the customers, which would be the hospitals and PT clinics? Then we identify a regulatory landscape. Is HIPAA compliance achievable in the data flow? We go into sub-process initial algorithm testing. The goal is to test the AI model with synthetic rehab to validate compatibility. So basically check for AI engine, session notes, and exercise data. We go into prototype development. The goal is to build a prototype demonstrating that the product is capable. We develop backend algorithms and front-end interface. We then integrate early cybersecurity logic for encryption, access control, and auditing. And we use synthetic and anonymized data only. This would be conducted by AI engineers and the cybersecurity team. Then we go into internal review. The goal is to gather feedback to improve clinical realism and system performance. We present the prototype to internal stakeholders. We collect feedback from clinical accuracy and privacy concerns. Then we check with the clinicians, the ethicists, data scientists, and security officers. And lastly, we go into compliance review. The goal here is to ensure AI prototype and infrastructure follow the HIPAA and privacy standards. This is to confirm encryption, role-based access, audit traits. We engage legal compliance for data flows and storage architecture. And we check with HIPAA officers, legal counsel, and IT security teams to make sure everything is correct. Okay, Stefan?
All right. Here for the continuing the process mapping, we have the slide. So we have the legal consultation for the IP attorney. Make sure we have to classify what needs protection. For the code is the copyright, algorithm is the trade secret, and the branding or the UI is the trademark. The IP filings will be the right for protection for provisional patent of the algorithm, the copyright for the code base, and the trademark for branding, location, and logo. Secure documentations will use encrypted version controlled repositories to store code and logs. We'll have critical and proving authorship and development timelines. The license structure would be defined, cleared due to tiers through commercial, nonprofit, and research, which would be tailored for each use. The ongoing monitoring will be regularly auditing of the IP misuse and performance issues, collaborating with cybersecurity team to detect unauthorized deployments. So here we have the capture of the start documentation from day one. So from here, we will want to make sure we have everything captured, safe, and the design notes, and then to help internal reviews to be able to build a strong IP foundation. The registration, the patent, copyright, and trademark from day one, once we get the go, we will need to make sure everything is patent for the algorithm, copyright for the code base, and make sure the trademark of the logo and the UI is there safe so it's secure and no one can take that. For the protection, this will store assets and secure timestamps and repositories. The access logs will be multi-factor authentication and restrict access. So along with the inputs, the identified clinical data and AI training data sets, the developer experience and legal IP consultation, market research, and branding design. The outputs will be the final product. So everything will be ready and launched along with the AI we have platform, the IP registration, the clinical feedback reports, and licensing contracts will all be ready for final launch day. All right, Eric.
Okay. So communication with support personnel. Who needs to know? Basically, the audience would be software engineers, which would have a communication tool by secure cloud folder, weekly sprint meetings. The purpose of this would be to access the details, the version controlled process map, discuss updates in sprints, and basically have a reference and collaboration. So for QA testers, the communication tool would be the same secure cloud folder, weekly sprint meeting. This would be to understand workflows for test alignment and have a quick process overview for day-to-day use. We go into legal IP consultants, secure cloud folder, again, one-page quick reference, and the purpose would be to review IP considerations and process milestones. This would be to ensure legal traceability. Then we go to administration and record teams. They would have internal wiki, one-page quick reference, This would be to maintain records of process changes, a quick reference for administrative consistency. Okay, next slide. Now we go into communicating with senior management, executive summary reports. So for communicating with senior management, the objective is to secure executive buy-in for funding and prioritize the protection for the AI rehab model, intellectual property, and full-scale development. For executive summary reports, we convey the strategic value of IP protection and platform development. Having maybe a 1 to 2 page documents or develop executive dashboards would be helpful for them. The key points to have a competitive advantage secured by patents and trade secrets. This would be to enhance market trust and compliance readiness through HIPAA aligning IP infrastructure. Then this would reduce the risk of IP theft and brand dilution. So how does this help us? IP protection enables market exclusivity, it lowers legal exposure, and basically attracts investors or partners. The key inclusions, for example, like having a current status of a patent, copyright, and trademark. It leads to follow compliance with the HIPAA review, and then checks for deployment readiness and checkpoints. Then visual roadmap presentations. So where are we on this? So what is the progress? We check for completed prototype and compliance, and the patent application is submitted. The purpose is to create alignment across all teams with responsibilities, budget accountability, the resource allocation, and the escalation of pathways of IP risk that arise. Then we go to stakeholder meetings. So who is involved and why? There needs to be alignment on the goals. The cybersecurity handles the encryption, legal handles the filing, and IT ensures compliance and issue new reports a certain time. The purpose is to justify IP protection as a financial investment that prevents loss and basically creates value. So making sure that licensing potential and protected technology, checking for valuation before and after patent grant, the cost benefit analysis. Is it really worth it? If there is money spent, then the goal is to avoid a larger amount of money in the potential legal or revenue loss. So basically you want the valuation to increase rather than decrease. Okay. Now, there are vital contributions of IT to IP protection and cybersecurity compliance. The objective is to ensure that the IT infrastructure and operations work to defend the organization's intellectual property and basically support legal, ethical, and regulatory compliance, such as with HIPAA and the IP law. For policy enforcement, there's implementation of organization-wide security and IP protection policies using scripting and automation, like, for example, PowerShell. It works with the restriction of USB access and secure passwords policies. This way, there is no unauthorized copying or exfiltration of sensitive documents. Then we go into employee training. This could be in partnership with HR to deliver security awareness and IP sensitivity training. Such simple things such as not emailing a code to a personal account or recognizing phishing attacks and handling data appropriately to reduce insider risk and decrease the percentage or the human error that could occur. Then we go into DevSecOps integration, IT and engineering check security and IP check workflows. They use code scanning and review protocols for sensitive modules. Then we go version control systems. IT maintains centralized GIT repositories. IP features are recording of, like, for example, timestamps and incremental changes, which enables the rollback and audits. This is for proof of ownership and originality in IP claims. Then we go into secure cloud storage, what IT manages, such as cloud services with end-to-end encryption and regular backup schedules. They store source code, legal filings, signed contracts, and even research documentations. This prevents data loss and theft while ensuring recoverability of critical IP materials. Then access management, what IT implements is multi-factor authentication. And for example, developers can commit code, but not access full legal files. Then the legal team can access IP documents, but not backend infrastructure. IT prevents unauthorized exposure of alteration of protected items. And then we go into intrusion detection and monitoring. So what IT uses is SIEMs or IDS IPS to get real-time alerts for unusual activity. That goal would be to detect and respond to potential IP theft or tampering. Then we have data automation tools. What IT supports are the tools to anonymize data for testing and AI training. This could be done by masking, and the objective would be to allow AI development and validation without violating HIPAA and still preserving algorithm value. Okay, and this would conclude our presentation of protecting innovation.
Thank you very much.
And these are our references.